Hey, it's Kim. Today I decided to get outdoors for some yoga. So whenever you're ready, you can get started out in child's pose. So forehead resting on your mat, knees together or spread wide, and just breathing here. So taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Take a big breath in, filling up with air, and a long exhale out, just letting go. So big breath in, filling up, long exhale out, emptying out completely. Maybe spreading your fingers wide and pressing into your palms. And just focusing on your breath. Nice long inhales and exhales through the nose. We'll go ahead and slowly make our way up to our hands and knees. So stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll take a few rounds of our cat-cow. So inhale your crown to the front, tail to the back. Exhale to your cat, round your back, push out all of the air. Inhale to your cow. Exhale to your cat. Inhale to your cow. Exhale to your cat. So just taking a few rounds of each, moving with your breath. Just beginning to warm up that spine. And then whenever you're ready, slowly making your way back to a nice neutral position. We'll take a few hip rolls to the right, so getting out any snaps, crackles, and pops. And take a few hip rolls to the left. Making your way back to center, and we'll come into our extended puppy pose. So walking your palms toward the top of your mat, spread your fingers wide, melt your chest toward your mat, reach your tail to the sky. So just breathing here, feeling your chest expand with each inhale, focusing on your breath and beginning to let go of anything else. We'll go ahead and slowly make our way up to our hands and knees, and then press back to our downward facing dog. So feet about hip width apart, heels pressing towards your mat. So fingers spread wide, pressing into the palms. Take a nice deep bend in your right knee, press your left heel toward the mat. Bend your left knee, press your right heel toward the mat. And then just walk out your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Go ahead and inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet, and then exhale, press your heels toward the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels down. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels down. We'll tiptoe our feet toward the top of our mat. Heel toe your feet to the outer edges. And just grab opposite elbows, coming into your ragdoll. So swaying from side to side. Shaking your head, yes or no. And just breathing here. Go ahead and release your hands, heel toe your feet back to about hip width apart. We'll inhale, halfway lift, pull your crown to the front, tail to the back. Exhale, take a nice deep forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. So we'll take 3 rounds of our sun A's, moving with our breath. We'll walk, step, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. Walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. So one more round. Walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to up and exhale to down. So just breathing here. Focusing on your breath. Maybe pedaling out your feet. Maybe swaying into your hips. Maybe shaking your head, yes or no. Go ahead and walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll sink down to our chair pose. So sinking our weight toward our heels, tucking our tail, suck that belly button up and in. And just breathing here. So just finding that sweet spot for you. Go ahead and open up to goalpost arms, just expand across the chest. And then exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and heel toe your feet either to the outer edges of your mat or just a little bit wider than hip width apart. This time interlace fingers behind the back and just let the arms fall forward. So just breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. You can shake your head yes or no, or maybe sway those arms from side to side. Just taking any movements that feel good to you. We'll release our hands, heel toe our feet back to about hip width apart. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and inhale your arms to the sky. Hook your thumbs. Let those elbows fall out. So rooting through those feet, engaging the core, protecting the lower back. And just breathing here. Go ahead and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. We'll reach that right leg to the sky. Bend your knee, peel open your hip. Maybe rolling out that ankle. Trying to press equally into both palms. Go ahead and reach that right leg to the sky. We're gonna rock forward to our plank, so bring right knee to nose. Press back, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose. Press back, three-legged dog. One more time, knee to nose. And then step into our low lunge. So get nice and stable, right knee over that ankle, and then reaching those arms to the sky. We're gonna bring hands to heart center and set up for our warrior three. So go ahead and step that back foot in about halfway, get nice and stable in that front leg. And then left leg up to about hip height. Try to keep those hips square. Maybe keeping hands at heart center, maybe extending them to the front of the room, or maybe releasing your hands to the mat. Trying to have that up dog kind of lift. Go ahead and release your hands, reach that left leg to the sky. Coming into our standing split. We'll release left foot to meet right. Go ahead and roll up to standing. We're gonna plant that left foot into our mat. Bring that right foot to wherever is comfortable for you, setting up for our tree pose. So ankle, calf, or thigh, just avoiding the knee. So bring hands to heart center. Press that foot, press that thigh together. Try to peel open your hip. Maybe growing your branches. Maybe walking your gaze up to the sky. Go ahead and release your hands. Release that foot. We'll inhale our arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to down. So we'll reach that left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, peel open your hip. Just taking any movements on this side that feel good to you. We'll reach that left leg to the sky. We're gonna rock forward, left knee to nose. Press back, three-legged dog. So knee to nose, squeeze it, hug it in tight. Three-legged dog, one more time, knee to nose. And then step through to our lunge. So feet on those separate planes. Maybe reaching those arms to the sky. Pressing into the ball of that back foot. And checking in that that left knee is over the left ankle. We're gonna release hands to heart center. Setting up for our warrior three. So step in about halfway. Get nice and grounded into that front foot. And then reach that right leg up to about hip height. Bringing those arms to wherever feels good to you. So maybe finding a focal point, maybe trying to level out those hips. Pulling the crown and the foot in those opposite directions. Just breathing here. We're gonna make our way to our standing split. So go ahead and release your hands, reach that right leg to the sky. We'll release right foot to meet left. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. And then release your hands by your sides. We'll set up for a tree on the other side. So rooting that right foot down. Left foot coming to wherever feels good to you. Press that foot, press that thigh together. Try to peel open the hip. Maybe growing the branches. Maybe melting your shoulders down your back and walking your gaze up to the sky. So rooting down, reaching up. Just breathing here. Nice, deep belly breaths. We'll bring our hands to heart center, release that left foot. Go ahead and inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to your downward facing dog. So we'll step that right foot forward and rise up to our warrior one. So back foot pointing toward about 10 o'clock. Right knee over that right ankle. We're going to go ahead and open up to goalpost arms. And then come into our eagle arms. So we're going to bring right arm under, making a connection either with the pinkies, the palms. If it's too much, you can bring hands to the shoulders. Maybe sinking into the legs, reaching those fingertips toward the sky. Maybe having a slight slight back bend in the upper back. Just breathing here. We're going to go ahead and make our way to our warrior three with eagle arms. So step that back foot in about halfway. So get nice and grounded in that front foot. And then reach that left leg to about hip height. If this feels like too much, you can bring hands to heart center, release them to the mat, whatever feels good to you. Go ahead and release your hands. Reach that left leg up to the sky, standing split again. Left foot down. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. We'll open up to our goalpost arms. We're going to come into our eagle pose on the right side. So right arm under, right leg over. So just keep a kickstand to start, sink down, get nice and stable, reach those fingertips up. If it feels okay, maybe wrapping that foot. And just breathing here, so finding a focal point. Squeezing everything into that center line. And just wringing your body out like a wet towel. Go ahead and unravel your arms, unravel your legs. We'll inhale our arms to the sky, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to up, exhale to down. We'll step that left foot forward. Rise up to our warrior one. So back foot pointing toward about 2 o'clock. Try to square those hips to the top of your mat. We're going to open up to goalpost arms. Bring that left arm under. So warrior one with eagle arms. Maybe reaching those fingertips up, maybe walking the gaze up toward the fingertips or the sky. Maybe expanding across the chest. We're gonna open up or keep those eagle arms, stepping that back foot in about halfway, so setting up for a warrior three on this side. So nice and stable in that front leg. Right leg reaching to the back of the room, flexing your foot, dialing your toes down. Reaching the foot, reaching those hands in opposite directions. Always knowing you can bring your hands to the mat, heart center. We're gonna make our way to our standing split. So go ahead and release your hands. Reach that right leg to the sky. Just breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Go ahead and release that right foot. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and inhale your arms to the sky, and we're going to come into our eagle on the other side. So open up to those goalpost arms. Bring that left arm under, left leg over. So keeping that kickstand, squeeze into that center line. Sink down, reach up, maybe wrap that foot. So just breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Go ahead and unravel the arms, unravel the legs, and we'll rinse through. So inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to up and exhale to down. So just taking a few rounds of breath here. Maybe rising up to the balls of the feet on the inhales, pressing your heels toward the mat on your exhales. Just coming back to your breath, back to the present moment, maybe back to your intention. We'll reach that right leg to the sky. Step through and rise up to your warrior one. And then peel open to your warrior two. So right knee over that right ankle. Maybe gazing over that right hand. And we're going to come into our side angle. So right forearm to that right thigh, reaching that left arm to the sky. If you want to take the half bind, you can bring that left hand to that right hip pocket. If you want to take the full bind, maybe bringing that right arm under the leg. If you have bird of paradise, maybe taking your bird of paradise. So just breathing here. Maybe finding a focal point. If you have bird of paradise, go ahead and slowly make your way back to your side angle. And we'll all go ahead and meet back in our warrior two. So just pausing here. And we'll meet in our half moon. So go ahead, step that back foot in about halfway. We're going to release that right hand to the mat. So just in front of that right foot, maybe off to the side, we're going to flex that left foot, bring it up to about hip height. Left hand can stay on the hip, or you can reach that left arm to the sky. So maybe finding a focal point. Again, pulling your head and foot in those opposite directions. And we'll go ahead and meet in our standing split. So release that left hand. Make sure that right foot is tracking to the front of your mat, and then reach that left leg to the sky. Go ahead and release your left foot to meet right. We're going to heel toe our feet toward the outer edges of our mat. Take your peace fingers around big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. So let those shoulders hang nice and heavy. Try to let go of your head and neck. Maybe swaying from side to side. And just breathing here. Focusing on the breath. We'll go ahead and release our hands, turn our heels and toes out. We're going to come in to our Buddha squat. So bring hands to heart center. Maybe pressing those elbows in to the legs if that feels good to you. And just breathing here. If you have crow, you can go ahead and fly your crow. So maybe planting the hands, maybe rocking forward and back, heel to toe. If you have your crow, maybe planting the hands, maybe lifting one foot, maybe lifting both. So trying to have a nice rounded cat back. Sucking that belly button up and in. And then whenever you're ready, we'll meet back in our Buddha squat. Go ahead and release your hands to the mat, forward fold. Heel toe your feet back to about hip width apart. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. So we'll step that left foot forward, rise up to our warrior one, and we'll peel open to our warrior two. So left knee over the ankle, back foot parallel to the edge of your mat, just gazing over that front hand. Maybe feeling the strength and stability in the legs. We'll come into our side angle, so left forearm to that thigh, reach that right arm to the sky. If you want to take a half bind, you can bring that right hand to that left hip pocket. Maybe bringing the left hand under the leg for that full bind. Not trying to collapse, but trying to peel open, trying to lift that top shoulder. Maybe taking that bird of paradise, maybe walking that right foot in. Maybe slowly rising up. And always knowing you can pause somewhere in the middle. Just breathing here. And maybe just not being afraid to try something new. Maybe not being afraid to fall. Feeling the support of your mat. If you have bird of paradise, slowly make your way back to your side angle. We'll make our way back to our warrior two. And then set up for our half moon. So bring that right hand to the hip, left hand to the mat. So flex that right foot, bring it up to about hip height. So pull your foot, pull your head in those opposite directions. Maybe reaching that right arm to the sky. Okay, maybe challenging your balance, walking that gaze up. Just breathing here. We'll come into our standing split. So release that right hand, square those hips forward, reach that right leg to the sky. We'll release right foot to meet left. So inhale, halfway lift, crown to the front, tail to the back. Exhale, forward fold. We'll heel toe our feet toward the outer edges of our mat. And this time take gorilla pose, so palms up, toes meet wrists. Inhale, halfway lift, pull your head and tail in those opposite directions. And then exhale, forward fold. Let your head and shoulders hang nice and heavy. Let any stress or tension roll off your neck and back. And taking any movement here that feels good to you. Go ahead and release your hands. So we'll turn our heels and toes out, coming into our Buddha squat. So bringing hands to heart center, maybe pressing those elbows into the legs. If you want to fly your crow, go ahead and plant your hands, maybe flying that crow. So hugging or sucking that belly button up and in, maybe finding a focal point. And just breathing here. If you're flying your crow, go ahead and make your way back to your Buddha squat. We'll go ahead and release our hands, forward fold. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a nice deep forward fold. And then inhale our arms to the sky. We're gonna set up for our tree pose again. So plant that left foot into the mat. Bring that right foot to wherever is comfortable for you. And maybe trying a different arm variation this time. And maybe trying to peel that hip open a little more. So if you'd like to interlace fingers, press your palms down, and then press the palms up to the sky. So really pulling your body in those opposite directions. So in yoga, we can find balance by really reaching or pulling our body in those opposite directions. So breathing here, maybe walking your gaze up. And just bringing an awareness, bringing that focus to the breath. Trying to let all your other thoughts just kind of melt away. Anytime you get distracted, just bringing that awareness back to the breath. We'll go ahead and release our hands, release our foot, and we'll take our tree on the other side. So bring that left foot to wherever feels good to you. So bring hands to heart center. Maybe interlacing fingers the opposite way this time. Press those palms down and then palms up. So really just pulling that body, finding that balance, rooting down, reaching up, and just breathing here. Go ahead and release your hands, release that left foot. We're gonna go ahead and bring that right ankle to the top of the left leg. So it's almost like our figure 4 stretch that we might do at the end of practice, but instead we're gonna sink down into a chair-like pose. So you wanna just open up that right hip. So just sinking down to wherever feels good to you. Maybe flexing that foot, and again, just maybe finding a focal point. So beginning to let any tension just pour out of the hip. And just breathing here. You can stay here if you want to take a forward fold, maybe releasing the hands, maybe reaching those hips up to the sky and relaxing the head and neck. Go ahead and release that right foot. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky, and then release your hands by your sides. And we'll take that hip opener on the other side. So bringing that left ankle to the top of the right leg. So we'll begin to sink down. So maybe flexing that foot, just finding that focal point. Beginning to let any tension just pour out of that hip. And just breathing here. So just finding that sweet spot for you. So maybe sitting with that discomfort. If you'd like to release your hands, maybe forward folding, reaching those hips up, you can. And you might find that you get more release in the hip just sinking into that seated position, just checking in and listening to your body. We'll release that left foot. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky, and then release your hands to the sides. We're going to bring that right leg up to about hip height. So flexing the foot, catching just in front of the knee. So just coming into a standing leg raise. If you'd like to take peace fingers around the big toe, maybe straightening the leg, you can. Try to keep those hips nice and square, rooting through the foot and reaching through the crown. Maybe peeling that right leg open to the side. Maybe reaching that left arm to the sky. Go ahead and come back to center. We'll release the foot, keep lifting the leg, reaching the arms to the sky, reaching that right leg to the front of the room. And we're gonna come into our airplane pose. So slowly bringing that right leg back, bringing the arms by the side, squeezing those pinkies in, tracking the toes down, and pulling the crown and foot in the opposite direction. Go ahead and release your hands, reach that right leg to the sky, standing split. Release that right foot. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. We'll release our hands by our sides. So we'll come into that standing leg raise on the other side. So root down through that right foot. Bring that left leg up to about hip height. So flex the foot. Root down, reach through the crown. Maybe taking those peace fingers around the big toe, extending the leg if that feels okay. Maybe peeling open to the left, maybe extending that right arm out to the side. Just breathing here, so finding a focal point, finding that balance. Go ahead and come back to center. Release the leg, lift that left leg to the sky, reach the arms to the sky. And we'll make our way back to our airplane pose. So slowly transitioning, bringing palms down, squeeze those pinkies in, reaching that foot to the back of the room, trying to level out the hips. And then releasing our hands, reaching that left leg up to the sky, standing split. We'll release left foot to meet right. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Go ahead and bend your knees, cross your ankles. We'll make our way back into a seated position. So inhale your arms to the sky, and then exhale, forward fold. So just breathing here, focusing on the breath. We'll make our way back up to our seated position. Bring that right foot to the outside of the left leg. Sit up nice and tall and twist to the right. So maybe gazing toward that right shoulder. Flexing that foot. We'll go ahead and come back to center, right leg nice and long. Left foot to the outside of the right leg. Sit up nice and tall, twist to the left. We'll come back to center and make our way onto our backs. So knees bent, feet about hip width apart. We'll set up for our bridge pose. And relax your arms by your sides. Lift your hips and thighs up, pressing into the shoulders, keeping the head and neck nice and neutral. And then slowly lower back down. We'll come up one more time, so pressing into the feet, lift the hips and thighs. Go ahead and slowly release back down. We'll bring that right ankle to the top of our left leg and then hug it in nice and close. Maybe pointing or flexing the feet, just letting any last bits of tension pour out of the hips. We'll switch sides, so left ankle to the top of that right leg. Hug the right knee in. So again, pointing or flexing the feet. And just breathing here. Taking any movements that feel good to you. Keep hugging that right knee and extend the left leg nice and long. Pull your right leg or right knee over to the left side. So trying to keep a connection with your shoulders to the mat. Coming back to center, just hug that right knee in. Maybe opening it up to the right side. And go ahead and release that right leg nice and long. Hug the left knee in and pull it over to the right. So keeping the shoulders connected to the mat. We'll come back to center, hug that left knee in, and then pull it over to the left. We'll go ahead and release the legs, coming into our final resting pose. So closing your eyes and just breathing here for the last couple minutes of your practice. Whenever you're ready, slowly beginning to add movement. So maybe wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe rolling out your wrists and ankles. And then slowly rolling over onto the right side of your body. So just pausing here in a fetal position. And then slowly making your way up to an easy seated posture. So bringing hands to heart center, the light within me honors the light, love, and peace within you. And together we bow forward and say, Namaste. Yay!